Enroll your child for the manifested e-learning platform and see their grades grow tremendously. These videos can be downloaded to a laptop for offline viewing or viewed from a smartphone in a cost-friendly format.
How are you, my dear learner? Welcome to today's lesson. My name is Wilson Mwangu, and I'm pleased to have you as my student. In the previous lesson, we learned about phrasal verbs, and we said that phrasal verbs have a verb and a particle. Today's lesson, we're going to learn about something called question tags. So these are the lesson objectives. Question tags. Before we even go into the tags, I want to remind you of verbs. Okay? Verbs. We have two types of verbs. We have what we call main verbs and supportive verbs. Supportive verbs, or they're also called helping verbs. Helping verbs. Let me give an example to show you these types of verbs. John is going to school. In this sentence, we have two verbs, a main verb and a supporting verb. So which is the main verb? The main verb is going, right? Main verb. Is a helping verb. Okay, so as I said, you have a main verb and a supporting verb. Another example. Tom is a teacher. Now look at this sentence. Show me the verb. The verb here is actually. So is the verb. In the first case, we have two verbs, a main verb and a supportive verb. In the second sentence, we only have one verb, which is. The point is this, my student. With question tags, we focus on supportive verbs. All right? So note, question tags focused on helping or supportive verbs. And how to go about it? You actually give that sentence, but you negate it. I'll give you an example. For example, you say, if you have the verb is, you say is not. Have, we shall say have not. Is not is written as isn't. In short form, we write as isn't. Have, haven't. We have does not, which is doesn't. Will not, and we write won't. Let me give you an example in a sentence, and I'm going to use this one. John is going to school. So, in question tags, we consider this verb. This sentence is a positive one. John is going to school. So we're going to get a tag which is negative. Isn't he? Then you put a question. In other words, is he not? Okay. So we're going to give a negative tag. Tom is a teacher. Again, this sentence is positive. So we shall say, isn't he? If it were, Tom is not a teacher. Now look at this sentence. Not, to give you what to call a negative. This is a negative sentence. We are saying Tom is not. You are negating, okay? So we shall have, is he? So the whole point of question tags is to confirm what you have said. Tom is not a teacher, is he? Then you say, yes, he's not. Or no, he's not, okay? So these are called question tags. You go back to the statement, you extract the supporting verb and the subject. You replace that subject with a pronoun. In this case, Tom is our subject. We replace Tom with what? His, with he. So this is a pronoun. So he refers back to who? To Tom, okay? Yes. Let me give an example using another gender. Mary has gone away. Now, this sentence has two verbs. We have gone and has. Remember I told you, in question tags, we focus on what? Supporting verbs, like have, has, do, does. So, this is the main verb. This is the supportive verb. So our focus is on has and Mary. Okay? Mary has gone away. Remember again, I said, if the sentence is positive, you give a what? A negative tag. And how to give a negative tag? By using not. All right? Mary has gone away. We shall have, hasn't she? This space is not enough. Allow me to erase this part, okay? Hasn't she? Now, look here. Has is this one. Because this sentence was positive, we give it a negative tag. Okay? Then you go back to our subject. Mary is female. So we have the pronoun she. Another thing to note is you must have a comma before the question tag. This is the question tag. The question tag should begin with a small letter. This word has must be in small letters. You must also have an apostrophe here. We call this word contracted form. This is not, so we contract. We have left out the O, so we have contracted it. Okay. Then at the end, you must put a what? A question mark. So let me write this down. Point to note. Allow me to erase this part. All right, again your question tags. Point to note. Points to note. 1. There should be a comma between points to note. 1, there should be a comma between the statement and the tag. This is what I mean. This is the statement. Mary has gone away is the statement. So before you put the tag, you must put a comma as indicated here. Number 2, the question tag must begin with a small letter. Has, hasn't she? Letter H must be small letter. Number 3, the contracted form of the word not must have an apostrophe. This not, that's what I mean. This word not, we write it this way. Okay? So we put an apostrophe here. Number 4, we use a pronoun to replace the subject of the sentence. Here is the subject. Mary is our subject. Mary is female, a girl. So use pronoun she. So we have hasn't she. She refers back to Mary. Number 5, place a question mark at the end of the tag. This is the tag. So we must have a question mark at the end, right? So this is the question tag. Shall we look at some more examples? Now, I told you I'll be using this at the book. This is English Aid. English Aid is a supplementary book that you can use. English Aid Class 8, okay? It has very good revision questions. So I'm using this book and I'm on page 5. This exercise 1 says, in fact, add a question tag to these sentences. Number 1, now we want to use this as examples, all right? There are so many. The lady sings nicely. I told you, you have to look at the sentence. Is it positive or negative? If the sentence is positive, you give it a negative tag, and vice versa. That means if the sentence is negative, give it a positive tag. So the lady sings nicely. This is a positive sentence. It will take a negative tag. Number 2, look at the supportive verb, helping verb. Show me the helping verb here. We have sings. Sings is the main verb, not a helping verb. All right? And we said you only place a tag on a helping verb. So there's no helping verb here. We call this, we can rephrase this sentence. this way. The lady does sing nicely. The lady does sing nicely. Okay? So here, the helping verb is does. Actually, this verb is there, but it's not indicated. It's called the dummy do. Dummy do. It means the verb is there, but not indicated. The lady does sing nicely. So we have does sing nicely here. So what is our supporting verb? Does. Okay? So we're going to put a comma. Then we give it a negative tag. Doesn't she? Right? So the lady does sing nicely, doesn't she? Then you put a question mark at the end. So I've said, if you don't have a supporting verb, it's there, but not indicated. It's called the dummy do. So indicate the word do or does. Like in this case. Number 2, some of the students are learning Spanish. The first thing you have to do is to identify the verb, which is learning, the main verb. What is our supporting verb? Are. Right? So this sentence is positive because we don't have the word not. So we're going to have aren't they. I told you, you look at the subject. Some of the students, this is plural. All right? So in fact, this word is aren't, not aren't. It's said as aren't they. You go to our supporting verb and are, you just put it not. You say are not they, are not they. So you just put an apostrophe. So you say aren't they. Grace is taking swimming lessons. Let me change this slightly. Let me make it negative. Say Grace is not. So we can see the difference. Is not taking swimming lessons. Swimming lessons. Grace is not taking swimming lessons. Now this sentence is negative because of the word not. What is our main verb? Our main verb is taking. Supporting verb is. So we're going to focus on is. Okay? This sentence is negative, so we're going to have a positive question tag. Is she? Grace is not taking swimming lessons. Is she? She will replace Grace. Right? And I said you must put a comma first. This must be a small letter. Then you are going to have a question mark at the end of that question tag. So my dear student, I want to urge you to get a copy of this book. Or parents, you can get for your child a copy of this book. There are so many exercises on question tags. So before we end the lesson, I want to give you an assignment from our primary book here. From this book, Primary English Book 8. And this is on page 8. And I write on my whiteboard here. There are just 5 questions. these are the questions. It says complete these sentences using suitable question tags. Number 1, free primary education is good for Kenya, dash. Number 2, the famine this year has been widespread, dash. Number 3, the rains have finally come, dash. Number 4, drought-resistant crops are useful during drought, dash. And number 5, Bamuriat learned a lesson, dash. Now, before we end the lesson, I want to give you some words and the negatives, okay? So that they can actually help you when formulating the question tags. Not all of them, just a few. My dear learner, these are the negative, the helping verbs, not all of them. Is positive. So can you add here positive? The negative is not, you just add not. Question tag isn't. Of course, we're going to have a question at the end. Have not, haven't. Does not, doesn't. Did not, didn't. Will not, won't. You say won't, not willn't. Don't say willn't you, you say won't you. Cannot, can't you. Should not, shouldn't you. Would not, wouldn't you. Must not, mustn't you. Ought not, oughtn't you. Then there is has not, hasn't. So these are some of the helping verbs and the question tags that you can use. I have to say they are not all of them. So I want to ask you to go and find out more of these question tags. So my dear learner, today we have learned about question tags. And we have said a question tag is put at the end of a statement just to confirm that statement, okay? And you have said a question tag is put on a supporting verb, not on the main verb. It must have a comma between the question tag and the statement, and the tag itself must start with a small letter and should end with a question mark. So until next time, I want to encourage you to do this work and send to our contacts. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you for choosing to study with us. For more information, you can call us on 0724 173845.